There's a great phrase, and the phrase is, be here now. Wherever you are, be here now. There was no 5 minutes ago, I'm not remembering the agony of the cut class, and there's no, it was hard, and there's no in front of us. It's just right here and right now. Someone who knows so much about all of that is a woman I read about in the New York Times. Her name is Geri Taylor, and when I read about her, I fell in love with her. I don't know if you guys, if you want to Google up the New York Times Magazine, I would Google it because the article is fascinating. So I'm going to have Geri come up, if you don't mind, Geri. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she's just going to talk a little bit about whatever she'd like.
All right. After learning my diagnosis, I sought advice from a therapist that I had occasionally seen for planning my retirement. I looked to her for support and guidance at this critical point and had placed a high degree of trust in her. She tried to convince me that the diagnosis was incorrect. When I overcame her doubts, her advice was simple, strong, and direct. Tell no one. If I shared the news, people would back away. I was stunned. With the help and support of many conversations with my husband, Jim, I decided to share my diagnosis. No one backed away. In fact, the outreach to me in all my relationships has grown in warmth and depth. But others with the disease are not so fortunate, and the social loss can have a very negative impact. It increases social isolation and despair at a time most people need it the most. The best course is to maintain activities and social interaction as long as possible. We have chosen to live as fully as possible. We will continue our lives as long as I am able to continue our activities. We know that harder days ahead, but while we are able, we shall share each day with passion, pursuing our dreams and our ideas not yet experienced. Rather than be silent, we will share openly, directly, and compassionately about the disease that has come into our lives. We have been so fortunate. Family and friends have not withdrawn, but rather have come around and ensure that I maintain my active life of book groups and plays and hikes and family gatherings. And perhaps most importantly, we have always had a good marriage. Never have Jim and I been so united in our commitment to one another to living fully. Knowing more about Alzheimer's and dealing with the early signs allows me the opportunity to recognize the preciousness of every mundane or extraordinary experience in my life. For me, the pain doesn't go away, but I adjust to it day by day, making changes and accommodations as necessary. This is not denial. It is like allowing other life functions to continue in the foreground while a computer program is running in the background. That would be your mind. Quietly finding ways to adapt to the changes imposed on my life and the future with Alzheimer's. I am a different person today than I was 3 years ago. I am much more in the present and in the moment. I laugh more spontaneously, and I feel the warmth of others more readily. I value people and beauty more deeply and viscerally. I know that I am limited, and at the same time, I feel expanded by the opportunity of knowing that what I experience is to be cherished and that every moment is special. Thank you.
Woo! That was beautiful. I think you have to realize you just got a standing ovation. That doesn't happen every day, does it? I just didn't want you to miss it.